Hello everyone, this is an orientation of the IELTS exam. So the IELTS exam, it's divided into two kinds, which are the academic IELTS and the general IELTS. So the academic IELTS is held for the purpose of postgraduate studies. The candidates who want to get the PhD degree or the master's degree from a foreign country, so they should have the academic IELTS. But the general IELTS, this is for the people who want to migrate to English-speaking country. This is the general IELTS. So in general, this exam is divided into 4 parts, which are listening, reading, writing, and speaking. So the listening part, it covers around 4 sections. Those 4 sections contain 40 questions in total. So you have to answer those 40 questions in 30 minutes or half an hour. So this is for the listening parts. But the reading part, it covers around 3 sections. You should answer 40 questions in those 3 sections in 60 minutes, only 60 minutes or an hour, a whole hour. So this is for the reading part. Then we have the third part, which is the writing part. The writing part covers 2 tasks, which are task number 1, that is should be written that should be written in 20 minutes. And task number 2 should be planned and written in around 40 minutes. So totally, this part takes around 60 minutes. It covers the 2 tasks in 60 minutes. But for the speaking part, which is the final part, it covers around from 11 to 13 minutes. And it's solved, or it can be answered in 3 sections. Those 3 sections, it take from 11 to 13 minutes. So totally, the test time, it's about 2 hours and 44 minutes. So this means that most of the time will be on the reading and the writing parts. So they are very important, the reading and the writing parts. Okay. So in the first part, which is the listening part, we have to follow some instructions before listening to the audio. Firstly, you should have a paper and pen with you to take some notes while listening to the audio. Secondly, you should know that the audio will be turned on one time only. It will not be repeated. So this is step number 2. Step number 3, you should read the instructions here, which are about writing no more than a word or a number in each gap. So if the examiner or the head of the question tells you about that you should write no more than 1 word, so you should write only 1 word in each gap. You should follow these instructions very well, because if you don't follow them, you will be scored negatively. Also, you should take care about your spelling and grammatical mistakes. Even if you commit a spelling mistake in 1 letter, the answer will be incorrect. And the most important step that you should follow, that you should take a look or read the points of the question very well before listening to the audio, so that you can have an idea about what you will listen in this audio. Like here, for example, I will read these lines or these points and have some keywords in my mind or in the paper that I have. Like here, account deposits, name of the account. So I will be asked about the name. And also I will be asked about the customer's name, and also about the birth here, or the date of birth, or the current address and the previous address as well, and the duration of time. So now about the office number, the home number. So like you should have an idea about what you will listen to. This is very important. This will make your answer easy. So this is the listening board, and the listening board, it's divided into 3 sections, as we said before, or 4 sections. So this is a form of this question. The other form or the other technique, it will be multiple choice questions. You will hear a conversation between 2 or 3 persons, and before hearing this conversation, you should have a look at these questions and have some keywords from each question. Like here, Jonathan bought the house in 1965 as it was built in the way of. So this means that here you should have the style of building. So this is our keyword or our key phrase here. This is for the listening part, and it's important to have a note and paper with you, or a paper and pen with you. Okay. Now we are in the reading part. In the reading part, when you want to answer reading questions, you have to follow 2 ways. You can follow any way of them. The scan way and the scan way. The scan way, it means that you will read the question at first and then read the first sentence from the first paragraph, and you will ask yourself about, I will find my answer or the answer of the first question that I have read here in the first paragraph or not. If it's yes, so continue reading the first paragraph. But if it's not, so read or repeat these steps in the second paragraph. So this is the way of a scan. But the way of a scan, and I think this is the most preferable way in answering the reading questions, it's about reading the whole questions of the passage. Then having some keywords from each question, having 2 or 3 keywords from each question, so that you can get the answer easily. Like here, for example, we have a sentence like this. This is the first question here. I will capture 2 or 3 keywords, like here, scientists, technique, specific, plant properties. So these are the keywords that I should have in this question. And I will search for these keywords here in the first paragraph. Once I found them, or once I find them, I can answer the question easily. I can say this question is true, false, or not given. And this leads us to the first technique of reading questions, which is the technique of true, false, not given. True, it means that the statement is correct. The statement is mentioned already in the passage. But false, it means that there is a mistake in the statement that I have here in the questions. Like there is a mistake in this sentence, and this the sentence is, or there is some sort of difference in the passage of this sentence. So this is for the second kind or the second type of the questions. The third statement, it will be not given. Not given, it means that the statement isn't mentioned anymore in the passage, or this piece of information isn't mentioned anymore. The writer doesn't say anything about it, so I don't know if it's true or not. So it's not given. So this is the first technique of the reading passages. The second technique, it will be about sentence completion. It means that you have a passage and you should complete some sentences from this passage. Like what? Like here, I have a passage, and I have some sentences which are taken, or some ideas which are taken from this passage, so I should complete a word or two words which are missed from this statement. And here I will follow the technique of a scan by capturing some words like random jittery movements and the particles. So I will search for this statement, or I will search for these keywords in the passage, and also I will search for their synonyms, because it's not necessary to find the same words in the passage. You can find their synonyms. You can find words which have the same meaning. So this is called a synonym. So when you find the same word or it's a synonym, this means that the answer here in this paragraph. Okay, so this is the second technique of questions, of the reading questions. And also you should take care about this. You should take care that when the examiner or that the head of the question tells you about that you should write here not more than 2 words. So I should write 2 words only or 3 words only according to the heading of the question. So I will read this carefully before answering anything or before reading anything. So this is the second technique of the reading questions. The third technique of the reading questions, it's multiple choice questions. I have some questions and I have some choices for these questions, like here now. So I will read the question at first. What is the negative effect of rice? And I will have some keywords from this question by following the way of a scan. Okay, so I will have negative effect rice. I will search for these keywords in this paragraph, and I will search for their synonyms. Maybe I can't find the same words, so I can't find their synonyms. So this will be here, like downside. Downside, it means negative effects. So the negative effect of rice, for example, that they produce as much as 17% of the world's total methane emissions. So this is the negative effect. So this is the answer. And how I know this? From the synonym of the phrase negative effect, which is the word downsides. Okay, so this is the third technique. The fourth technique, it will be matching paragraphs. I mean by matching paragraphs that I have a passage like this one or an article like this one, and the paragraphs in this article are divided into paragraph number A, B, C, D, E, F. Like they have some letters or numbers. So, and after this article, I have like ideas or headings, main ideas, like this one. So these are the questions. The questions are main ideas or headings. So I will have some keyword from each heading, like here. The first keyword or the first heading, I will have the keyword of extinction. And in number 2, I will have the keywords of largest mammal. So I will read each paragraph carefully, and I will search for these keywords in each paragraph. Once I found the idea, in paragraph number A, for example, I found the idea of the largest mammal. So I will write here letter A. And take care the one idea can take number of paragraphs. So this means that this idea can take paragraph number A and paragraph number C as well. So I will write all the possible answers. I will write in this question, I will write all the possible answers. Even if the same paragraph can take 2 ideas or 3 ideas. So I will write this. So this is for the third or the fourth kind of reading questions. The fifth kind of reading questions, it's in the form of classification. You classify the sentence according to the person who said it or who mentioned it. Like what? Like I have a passage here about sleeping, and I will have some questions or some statements which are taken from this passage. So in each statement, I should mention or I should classify it according to the person who said it. For example, this sentence is said by Ravi Alada. So I will write number B here. I will search for the keywords or their synonyms in the passage, and once I found this idea or this statement in the passage, I will search for the person who said it, and I will find Ravi Alada. So I will choose B, Ravi Alada. So this is a technique of classification. Okay. Then we have the third part, which is the writing part. In the writing part, we have 2 tasks. Task number 1, and this takes about 20 minutes from the time of the exam or the time of the test. This task, it's about describing or talking about the features that you can see in a graph or a chart like this one. You have a chart like this, or you have a graph like this. So you should mention or write about everything that you note or see in this graph in the chart. And this is according to specific rules that we can learn together about them. It's like here, for example, a graph like this, and this is about, or it shows a percentage of part-time workers in each country of the United Kingdom in 1980 and 2010. So I will summarize and compare all the features that I see here about this percentage of part-time workers in each country of the United Kingdom. So this will done according to, or will be done according to specific rules, specific rules in the writing section. And here we write 3 paragraphs, only 3 paragraphs, about 150 words in total. Those 3 paragraphs should be written, planned, written, and checked. Planned, written, and checked in 20 minutes only. So your spelling and grammatical structures should be correct as well. And you shouldn't write you shouldn't write less than 150 words, because this will affect your score negatively. If you want to write more than 150 words, it's preferable. This is task number 2 in the writing section. Task number 2, it takes from you about 40 minutes in planning, writing, and checking. So this is task number 2, and it's about writing a whole essay. This essay can be about writing an opinion, writing your own opinion about a topic, a specific topic, or you should agree or disagree about this topic. Also, it can be about suggesting a solution for a problem or a phenomenon. So you have to present the problem and the solution for this problem, or you have to present the cause of this problem and the solution for this problem. Also, you can talk about pros and the cons. You can talk about the advantages and disadvantages of an idea or a phenomenon in the society or the whole world. So this is task number 2. In this task, you should follow some steps relating to the spelling and the grammatical structures. And the most important point, which is about writing at least 250 words. So your minimum of writing here, it's about 250 words. If you want to write more than this, it's okay, but don't write less than 250 words. You can write from 260 to 280. Don't write longer than this, because it will be a longer essay, and this can affect your score. This can make you fall in grammatical and spelling mistakes. So write 260. Don't write more than this and less than this. Okay, so this is task number 2. And you should write at least 5 paragraphs here. The introduction, this is the first paragraph, and 3 body paragraphs, body paragraph number 1, body paragraph number 2, body paragraph number 3, and the last paragraph, it will be the conclusion paragraph, which is the shortest paragraph in the whole essay. It's a summarization of the body paragraphs. So this is task number 2 in the writing section, and we can learn together some steps about writing this perfectly. Then we have the speaking part, and the speaking part, it's divided into 3 sections, which are section number 1, and this is about a small talk between you and the examiner. You introduce yourself to the examiner, and the examiner do the same or does the same thing. He introduces himself to you, and you will show your ID to the examiner. This is about, or this will happen in about 4 to 5 minutes from the time of the exam. In part number 2, you will be given a card, and in this card, you will find a topic which is written in it. So you will have 1 minute. You should plan your ideas, your talk about this topic, which is in the card. You should plan about this in your mind for about 1 minute only. And then you will have 3 to 4 minutes to talk about this topic. This is in part number 2. In part number 3, you will have some related questions. You will be asked about some related questions to this topic, so you should answer these questions in about 4 to 5 minutes. It's a discussion between you and the examiner, and this discussion, it's about the same topic or related questions to this topic. So this is for the speaking part. This is something easy. You can do it in 11 to 13 minutes, and it depends upon your fluency and pronunciation, using of grammatical structures and various lexical words. So these are important things, and you will be scored. You will be scored in this part depending on these points: fluency, pronunciation, grammatical structures, and using various lexical words. In the general IELTS, the section of writing is different because it contains 2 tasks. Task number 1, it will be about writing to respond to a situation by writing a letter. For example, requesting information or explaining a situation that happened to you. So it will be writing a letter. But in section number 2 or in task number 2 in this section, in the section of general writing, it will be about writing an essay in response to a point of view, argument, or a problem. So you will respond to a problem or an argument in this essay. So it will be writing a letter. This is task number 1. This is task number 1. But for task number 2, you will write an argument, or you will write a reply, an essay as a reply to an argument or a problem or a point of view. So this is for the general writing in the general IELTS.